Gigo.
Hello everyone, I'm Teacher Raccoon. Today we're going to look at this 7066 5-in-1 buildable drone. A drone is a flying vehicle equipped with a camera. The device is remote controlled, so it can fly freely through the air. A drone like this can be used to photograph the natural environment or record large-scale activities. If you add a few more components like a sprayer, it can be used as a crop sprayer. This model is able to be controlled with a mobile phone or a drone remote control. When you fly, you can see through the camera on your smartphone in real time. The 5-in-1 buildable drone we have here uses Wi-Fi, which means that we can use either a tablet or smartphone to control it. Take a look at the box. We can see that this is suitable for people 8 years and older. There are 109 parts in the set and using a drone body. There are 5 models that we can assemble. Here we can see that it is possible to use a tablet or smartphone to control or program the drone. Let's open it up and look inside. You can see here that the drone has a handy carry case design so you can carry it with you. It looks pretty cool. Let's open it up and see how much stuff fits inside a small case. So, the first thing we see is the full color instruction manual and some related electronic accessories. Here's the micro USB cable. You can also see some building block components. These blocks let you configure the drone the way you want. Let's do a quick inventory and sort some of these blocks. First, on the left hand side we have the C block, which is also called the 1cm block. We use a lot of 1cm blocks in this set because they are small and light. They are ideal for the main structure of the drone. Over here on the right hand side, we have the electrical components like the 7.7 lithium battery, HD camera, controller box, LED holder, motor and arm assembly, and forward propeller. By using of these components, we can build a very powerful drone. There are even some extra components that are used for the models, and we will introduce those components in the next part. This is the first component we are going to examine. This is the controller box. The control box is the part that speaks to the Wi-Fi network, so the smartphone can connect and control it. There are 5 holes on each side of the control box, and these help us add things to our model. All the models are based on the controller box. Now if we flip it over, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 sockets on it. The 4 corner sockets are reserved for the motors. This one here has a camera symbol, which means you plug the HD camera in there. The back socket here has a light symbol, so that's why here you connect it to the LED holder. There's a button in the middle here, which turns on the controller box. You can turn it on by pressing and holding the button for 2 seconds. We demonstrate the LED holder in just a moment. Let's look at how we insert and remove the plugs. Take our LED holder as we can learn how the socket and plugs work. First, observe the 2 holes on the plug of the LED holder. These holes are connected to the pins inside the socket. The plugs can only be inserted in one direction, so we need to pay close attention to direction of the plug, like this. Then we press the plug after we put it in. When it's in, we can practice removing it. For this, we need a special component. Here it is. Hey look! Can you see that it is similar to the pack remover? Right, We all know the pack remover, and the gray one is the small pack remover. You can use it to remove various components in this set. Like the pack remover, it has two sides. One side is sharper and the other has a concave shave. If we want to remove plugs, we need to use the sharper side. We insert it here just like with the pack remover. Then press it down like this. It's easy to remove plugs this way. So, this is a small pack remover. Next, let's look at the 3.7V lithium battery. This is usually stored in an anesthetic bag to prevent damage. The main purpose of this battery is to power the components, like the motor and LED. There's a micro USB connector on the side, and there's a cable for charging with the set. You simply plug it in here to charge it. When it's charging, there's an indicator light that will flash red. When it's done, the light goes out. Before using the drone, it takes 2 to 3 hours to charge the battery. A fully charged battery gives about 8 to 10 minutes flight time. This is a 3.7V lithium battery. Now let's look at the motors. There are two types of motor, A and B, that spin in different directions. There are 2 A motors and 2 B motors. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 motors all together. The motors with the white and black wires are the first type, and they only spin counterclockwise. The 2 on the right only spin counterclockwise. The others with the blue and red wires only spin clockwise. Pay close attention to this, because using the correct motor type is important when building models later. Sometimes we use the clockwise motors, and sometimes we use the counterclockwise motors. If you're not sure, just check the color of the wire and the manual. So these are the motors. Next up are the propellers, which also have 2 types. We call the left one Propeller A. Propeller A was a white border next to it, so it is not confused with Propeller B. If you look closely, there it has A2 written on it. A stands for Propeller A. On the other one, it says A1, so it is also an A type. If we look at Propeller B, there's no white border, and it has the letter B on it. So, this is B1 and the other is B2. We need to configure propellers A and B on the drone correctly. So, we use the letters and white borders to help. There's one other thing we need to pay attention to. We put 2 motors underneath. The A propellers always have the black and white wires, and the B propellers always have the blue and red wires. This is very important. Okay, now let's look at how to assemble and disassemble the propellers and motors. As we just said, first match up the correct propellers. We align it here like this and press down. But don't press down too hard. Leave a small gap between the propeller and the motor, so it can spin freely. Great, now to remove them, we use the small pack remover again. Insert a sharper edge to take out the plug at the controller box. There's a small groove on the other side of the small pack remover, and this is for the propeller itself. Put it into the groove and push it down a little, and it should come off easily. If you find it's difficult or stiff when using a small peg remover, you can use another one as a support, like this. See here, there's one side marked with the letter B. You can insert it under the propeller like this, with the B facing up. Then we grab both peg remover and press them down, like this. So, if one is not enough, then we can use 2 peg remover tools. Now let's look at the last component, the 96T annular gear. The teeth on this gear are designed for power transmission. But annular gears also have teeth on the inside of the gear. It can transmit power, but if we want to use the 96T annular gear, we have to replace the propeller on the motor with a mini gear. In this set, apart from the drone, the other 4 models all use the mini gear and the motor. It's very simple to assemble them. Just like the propellers, you press down the mini gear and leave a little gap. Then do it again for the other motors. It's important that we must choose types of the correct types of motor. One here has the black and white wires, but the other has blue and red wires. We usually put them on the left and right sides like this. Through the adjustments of these 2 motors, the 96 annular gear can be rotated counterclockwise or clockwise. Finally, we can also remove mini gear with small peg remover. We insert the groove side in the same way and just press down. You can remove the mini gear by shaking or agitating it lightly. So this is a 96 annular gear. Now let's get building. Let's start assembling. Press the pieces together tightly when assembling. Complete the control box assembly and set it aside. Pick up the motor and the arm assembly, right? And propeller A, which has the wire mask on it. Firmly press the propeller onto the motor axle. Repeat. Pick up the motor and arm assembly left and propeller B, which is all black. Repeat. Pay close attention to the orientation of the parts. Insert 4 short peg. Attach one of the propeller assemblies with the red and blue wires here. Attach one of the propeller assemblies with the black and white wires here. Insert 2 short peg. Attach the other propeller assembly with the red and blue wires here. Attach the other propeller assembly with the black and white wires here. Insert 2 static connector tube. Repeat for the 3 remaining motors. Plug the LED light cable into the socket. Attach the LED holder for the drone to the drone and arrange the cable neatly. The 5x3L rod right and 5x3L rod left are symmetrical. Attach one 5x3L rod. Then attach the HD camera. Pay attention to the orientation. The cable is on the button. Then attach the other 5x3L rod. Plug the camera cable into the socket. You might need to move the cables out of the way to put the propeller shield ring on. Guide the propeller shield ring around the propeller and wires like this. Make sure the shield ring clips onto the motor housing securely. Attach all 4 propeller shield rings. Make sure all of the propeller shield rings are locked in place. Make sure the propellers don't hit the propeller shield ring when they turn. Next, look at over the app for this set. The app is called Gigo Robotics Drone, and you can download it using the QR code here. Or you can scan the QR code on page 6 on the manual. I downloaded this one before I filmed the video to save some time. Before we open the app, first turn on the device Wi-Fi. The controller box requires a Wi-Fi connection. So we'll connect that now. When you use the app for the first time, the permission window will pop up. You'll need to accept the device permission, or there may be problems connecting to the controller box. Let's move on to the next part. So this app has 5 modes. The drone remote control, basic remote control, drone programming, help and media. Don't worry, we'll go over this one by one. If we tap on drone remote control, we can use our phone as a drone remote control. There are many functions here, so let's go over them. First, by moving the left slider up and down, we control the altitude of the drone. And sliding left or right rotates the drone. The joystick on the right controls the movement of the drone. We control the position of the drone through these 2 joysticks. In the middle part, The top is an auto takeoff routine. You can click this button to start the drone and it will take off. The next one is selfie mode. If you tap that and say photo, the drone will automatically take a picture. There's also an auto land feature. If you tap that in wide open area, the drone will make a safe landing. The button at the bottom is the emergency stop. If you discover that the drone is out of control, or if you can't control its direction, it may be dangerous. Tap the emergency stop button and it will shut the drone down. Next, let's look at some of the buttons above. The second from the left is take a photo. If we tap it, the drone will take a photo. The second one is take a video. When you tap that, the drone will record the video. Next is the motion control. If you tap that, you see that the tablet has a joystick on the right. If we move the tablet to the right, the joystick will also move to the right. Using the orientation of the tablet, we can control the drone. Next is the flight dashboard. Here you limit the speed of the drone and there are 3 settings: low, medium, and high. Low is useful for beginners and practicing in indoor spaces. The icon here with a rotating arrow is the 360 flip. Tap that and the drone will do a 360 flip. Super cool! We will demonstrate that later. The next icon is strike by route. If we tap this one, the joystick on the right became a touchpad. We can move the drone along a path and preset a route. Now let's look at the LED status indicators. There are 3 sections here. Pressing once turns off the LED holder, twice begins the blinking mode, and 3 times turns the light on continuously. Finally, we get to the gear icon on the right. After clicking this, we can see that there are 4 functions. The top on is rotate screen, and that lets us turn the remote control upside down. The second is the VR split screen. If we tap that when wearing VR glasses, the camera image can be converted into a VR recording. If you need to reset the orientation of the drone, tap the third screen. If you press the left button, you can hide some of the icons to clear up the screen. But generally, it's better to leave them visible in case you need them. Now, down at the bottom, there are 3 trim settings. If your drone has a slow turn to one side, you can use the rotation trim on the left to compensate. If it's drifting to one side, use the left, right, or front back trim to compensate. Now let's head back to the main menu. We can look at the basic remote control. This mode is used to control the other 4 models in the set. Pay special attention to one point here. If we go back to the main menu, only the drone remote control can control the drone. This mode uses higher output power. If you use this to control the other 4 models, they might break, be careful. This is why we recommended the basic remote control for controlling the other 4 models. When we look at it, we can see it is actually like drone remote control, light. But if you can still take photos and videos, control the LEDs and use the joystick controls. You need to remember that now, one joystick controls 2 motors. And we have 4 motors, so this controls the first one. the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. If you forget, it is all written down on page 7 of the manual. Now, let's look at the drone programming. In this mode, we can program the drone. First of all, the 4 buttons in the lower left corner are the same as the joystick. We can control altitude by sliding it up and down, and control the steering by going left and right. When I click this button, I can add it to the program sequence area above. Let's say I want to go up after takeoff, then move forward 2 steps. Then turn right 90 degrees twice. This means it will turn 180 degrees back towards me. Then go forward 2 steps again, making it return to its original position. Here we will be able to see the entire program. If you find the program has been installed incorrectly, just tap it in the middle to remove it, like this. When you complete the program, press start to run it. When you do that, you'll see a slider. This is to make sure you're really meant to run the program. So you can run the program by accident, just put it to the right. So you can run the program and take the photos and videos as you fly. If you like this program and want to save it, you can click the save icon on the right. After that, you have to choose where to save it. Here, I will be saving it in Customize 1, so I tap that. In the menu on the right, it now shows up as Customize 1. It will light up, and we can tap to enter the program interface. We can also use demonstration A or B to make the drone move. If you are still unsure about the 3 modes, you can also tap on Help in the lower left corner of the main menu. In there, you'll see an overview of the 3 modes we just mentioned. You'll also get some more in-depth app information. Finally, the photos and videos taken by the drone can be found in the media section of the main menu. Tap here and you'll see they are all classified, so we can review them easily. Okay, the drone is finished. Before we do the test flight, Teacher Raccoon would like to remind you all of some very important drones regulation. First of all, each country have different laws of regulations on the use of drones. Usually, this depends on weight of the device. The finished weight of your drone here is less than 250 grams. Whatever happens, as the pilot, you're responsible for following all the local laws and keeping other people safe. Now, let's get airborne. First, we find a wide open area and make sure that all the components are assembled correctly. No loose or wobbly bits allowed. Nothing should fall off. Now, give the propeller a quick spin to make sure it does not collide with the propeller shield ring. Now everything is ready. We can connect the tablet and the controller box. Press the power button on the bottom of the drone for 2 seconds to turn it on. The LED holder will blink, which means it is searching for a Wi-Fi network. Let's check the tablet settings. I see it here, a device called Drone, followed by the unique device ID number. Don't worry too much about this number. Just make sure that it says Drone. Next, we return to the main screen and open the app. And start drone remote control. The LED connection light should now be on constantly. This shows it's connected. Make sure you're about 150 to 20 cm away from the drone. And always keep it safe distance from yourself and other people. Okay, let's tap the auto take off to see it fly. There it goes! Let's test the left joystick, the steering. Turn left and right. And check the live streaming images from the drone camera. Take the altitude down a bit. Increase it a bit, strap left and right to test all the functions in order. Now let's test the take photo button. Tap it to take a photo. After that, tap the take a video icon. Now you'll see a timer appear, which means we're recording. I can record videos while turning and moving. One thing to remember is that even if you're indoors, you need to maintain a windless state. Be careful of strong fans because it will affect the drone's movement. So, we've been recording for about 30 seconds now. Let's run off the video and test the motion controls. As you can see, I can use the tilt function of my tablet to control the drone. If I tilt the tablet forward, the drone moves forward. And when I tilt backwards, the drone moves backwards. Now, let's check out the speed settings. If we set it to the highest speed, you'll see it is faster, but this means the battery runs out faster. Next, let's see the 360 flip. For this, we have to make sure that the ceiling is high enough. And that the drone is high enough, we don't want to hit the ceiling. And when it falls fast. So we don't want it to crash into the ground. To do a flip, the speed must be medium or high. Let's tap the 360 flip icon and then move the joystick in the direction we want it to flip. Okay, there we go. One other thing to remember is that when there is less than 50% battery remaining, for safety reasons, the flip function will not be available. Now, let's check out the trajectory and routing function. To start, tap on the dotted arrow. Then move it in to the right. And you'll see that the drone follows my hand to the right. I can also go forward and then turn right, or make an L-shaped movement and then move it back. Okay, next is the LED status. We can turn off the light or make it flash flicker, or keep it on permanently. This is all adjust using the LED status area. How about testing the selfie mode? Just tap this and say photo. After the drone will automatically take a photo. Now we've done some testing, we can prepare to land. Bring the altitude down a bit and then tap auto land. There it is, the drone is coming down safely by itself right now. Okay, now let's demonstrate the drone programming. Tap the button below to get the drone to the right altitude after takeoff. As a test, we'll move it forward 2 steps. 90 degrees right twice. And then go forward 2 more steps. Back to its starting position. When we finish the program, we tap start, and you'll see a slider to confirm your decision. Let's watch. It's moving forward. 1, twice. Now turns, turn 1, turn 2. There will be some arrows on the route. This is normal. Now moving forward again, and at the end it will make a landing. This is how you program the drone. To finish up, let's take a look at some videos taken outside. Demonstration of other models. Let's go! Use a small end of the small pack remover. Insert it into the gap between the motor and the propeller. Pry it up. If you cannot remove the propeller with a small pack remover, use both pack remover together. Put the large end of small pack remover into the gap. And then use the B side of the pack remover pry the propeller up with both pack remover. Use a small end of the small pack remover. Insert the pry up gently. If it gets stuck, use your hand to rotate the 96th annular gear. So the 5x3L rod doesn't hit the gear.